What is up, y'all? It's Andrea here at VW Family Farm, and today we are talking garlic and herbal medicines. So it is time here in the South to plant garlic, and a lot of different places, not just here in the South. And garlic is one of the things here at VW Family Farm that we love to grow. We are trying some new varieties this year. We're going to be trying some from Haas Tools. This is elephant garlic. These things are huge. I can't wait to get these out and show them to you guys. And then some chestnut garlic from Baker Creek. And this is a purple stripe variety. It's really cool looking. These are big cloves of garlic, not as big as the elephant, but they are nice sized cloves as well. So I'll be showing you those. But first I want to talk about why should you grow garlic, and where can you get it? How is it going to cost you little to nothing to grow garlic? Because it's an awesome medicine as well as a food. And that's where I want to start, is when does a product like garlic or lots of different things, onion, parsley, sage, all kinds of different herbs and spices, when do they cross over from being a food to being a medicine? Well, that's where I want to introduce you to a couple of books. This right here might just be my favorite book ever. It's neck and neck with the other one I'm going to show you. This is a book by Rosemary Gladstar. It's called Medicinal Herbs, A Beginner's Guide. And I'm going to have Lane link that below so you can find that. And then really tied closely, I love this book by Amy Fuel. She's the founder of the HOA, Homesteaders of America Conference, and she wrote this book. Joel Salatin wrote the foreword. It's the Homesteader's Herbal Companion. This is a great book. If you need a guide, you need someone to say, plant this, do this, here's how to get started in herbs. This is an awesome book as well. So I've pulled both of these out. I've been studying up on garlic because each year we seem to grow more and more of it and find more and more uses for it. And so I just wanted to share with you what you can do with garlic, why you need to be growing it, and how awesome it is. So the first thing you need to know is garlic is usually the go-to for colds, flus, sore throats, anything of that nature, as well as it is a great internal and external antimicrobial, antiseptic. It's been shown to treat types of infections that antibiotics can't even treat. It's a good stimulant of white blood cells. It can treat worms in humans as well as in animals. Garlic is really good for your heart and in helping lower your cholesterol levels. It's also shown effective in lowering blood sugar levels. So where does garlic stop becoming just a food and become a medicine? Well, if you're just putting garlic in your food, that's awesome. It's probably helping your digestion, among other things, and it's supporting a healthy heart by just simply cooking with it. Now, if you need to lower your cholesterol or your blood sugar, you're going to need to take more of like a dose of garlic on a regular basis for a few weeks or longer. And that's where a book like this can help you, because there's recipes in here to make pickled garlic, fermented garlic, things like that. You can make your own garlic powder. You can make it into pill form. You can just do all kinds of things with it to treat specific conditions that you have. But if you do nothing else rather than just start adding garlic into more things you cook with, garlic is one of those things that when you cook with it, it retains a lot of its healthful properties. Some things, once you heat them up, you kill a lot of the good things they have in them. Garlic is not that way. So I encourage you, grow it, eat it, make it into medicines. Anything that you can find to do with it, do with it, because it's awesome. It's such a powerhouse food as well as medicine. And so just now is the time to start growing it. That way next year you will have a good crop of garlic. Now, one other thing I want to say, and this is always my motto. I watched a 2-minute tip video from Haas Tools, and their theory was the same as mine. You might have to buy some garlic starts and some seed stock to get going. But if you do it right and you grow quite a bit, because one clove is going to multiply dramatically in how many cloves you harvest from that when it produces a whole bulb of cloves next year. Save some of that and then replant that. Eat some and save some. And then theoretically, you should not have to buy garlic ever again. So you've got a food and a medicine that's virtually free and just keeps reproducing. It's awesome, and they're super simple to store. So I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to grow a lot. They don't take up a lot of room. You will cure them in the sun for a few days after you pull them out of the ground, and then they will store in just a cool, dry place, just a little back corner of somewhere that you can spare the space. They're awesome like that, and they keep for a long time. And this just sums up how important garlic is. Rosemary Gladstar said, were I forced to have only one herb in my kitchen, garlic would be it. So that tells you, you need to be growing some garlic. You need to get them planted in the fall for a summer harvest the following year. You can plant garlic in the spring and harvest in the late fall, but your bulbs and your cloves will not be nearly as big. So planting in the fall is definitely ideal. All right, so we talked about why you need to grow some garlic. So let's get some in the ground. All right, so now we're gonna use the Haas high arch wheel plow, and it's got the cultivating teeth on it. Ben is going to make us a spot to get all this garlic in the ground. Okay, next up, I'm changing it out. You can get all kinds of attachments for this thing. It's pretty awesome. So I'm putting on the things to make a furrow so I can plant my garlic down in a little furrow. I don't want it super deep, but I do want a little trench. Okay, so I got my furrow made. I'm ready to plant. Like I told you, I'm going to be planting elephant garlic from Haas Tools, chestnut garlic from Baker Creek. I'm also going to be planting some shallots from Haas Tools. Shallots are actually in the onion family, but I'm going to grow them and use them and prepare them kind of like I do garlic. And like I mentioned, the elephant garlic, I'm going to be planting that. That is actually in the leek family, but I'm going to be using all of these as if they were garlic. They're good substitutes there. And then I'm also gonna plant just some plain old garlic that we harvest, and we eat some of the cloves and then we replant some. We actually found it in the ditch. We have a video called that, I found it in the ditch. And if you're where garlic grows well, you'll probably just find wild patches of it everywhere. We harvested it. That's how we got started. It was not necessarily wild garlic, although it was growing kind of wild. A lot of times wild garlic is actually like one big ball when you dig it up. It doesn't break apart into cloves. What we harvested actually does is still breaks apart into cloves, and then I can use some and plant some. So I'm gonna get started. All right, first up I'm gonna plant this elephant garlic. This is 2 pounds worth. So even if you just order a pound to get started, because it's gonna multiply each year, you're still gonna get 8 to 10 cloves, depending on size, maybe a few more, a few less. Also, one last note before we start. I'm gonna put the tip side up and the root side down, and I'm not planting these very deep, especially the shallots. I'm gonna leave this tip actually sticking out on them, and I'm gonna leave the garlic very close to it. I'm gonna plant them in this furrow, but I'm not gonna get them just completely buried down deep, because they'll do better if I don't. Really, these don't need a gigantic amount of room to grow either, so you don't have to space them super far apart. Just think of how big the clove is gonna be when it multiplies, and give them that much room at least. Next up is chestnut garlic, and you can see how beautiful it is. That is half a pound, and it's 4 big bulbs of garlic, so that's gonna break into individual cloves. So half a pound would get you a good start on that. All right, I came to the other end of the row. I'm going to put all these shallots in down here and work my way back up. And then whatever space is left in the middle, I'm gonna fill in with our traditional garlic that we grew, and I will finish this project up. So thanks for joining me. I'm gonna end this with me finishing up. I hope I persuaded you to grow some garlic because it is awesome. It's food as well as medicine. Shallots are in the same category. Elephant garlic. Get some of that stuff stuck in the ground because it is time to grow it. And then you can sit back this winter and just wait for your bountiful harvest next year. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. God bless.